Australia and New Zealand monitor Chinese naval presence near Sydney. In an unfolding event that underscores the strained relations in the Asia-Pacific, Australia and New Zealand's defense ministries have reported the careful monitoring of 3 Chinese naval vessels that recently navigated through international waters, unusually close to Australia's eastern coastline. The group, consisting of a frigate, a cruiser, and a supply tanker, was detected approximately 150 nautical miles east of Sydney. The sighting comes amid fresh tensions, highlighted last week by a concerning encounter between a Chinese fighter and an Australian military aircraft in the South China Sea. The Australian government criticized the Chinese military's actions as unsafe, claiming that the jet dropped flares dangerously close to the Australian aircraft, a move condemned by Beijing as a breach of its sovereignty and a threat to its national security. In an interview, Australia's Defence Minister Richard Marles described the naval movement as not unprecedented but unusual, emphasizing that while the vessels operated within international law, the situation warranted prudent monitoring. Marles reassured the public, noting that the presence of the Chinese ships did not constitute a direct threat. Concurrently, New Zealand's Defence Minister Judith Collins expressed concerns about the lack of communication from China regarding the intentions behind the naval deployment. Speaking to Radio New Zealand, Collins confirmed that New Zealand's defense forces are also vigilantly tracking the vessels, although the purpose and future plans of the Chinese task group remain unclear. This episode is part of a series of military encounters, contributing to the growing diplomatic friction between China and the nations of the Asia-Pacific. Incidents include an aggressive maneuver by a Chinese jet against an Australian Seahawk helicopter in international airspace in 2024, and an aggressive use of sonar by a Chinese destroyer targeting Australian Navy divers in 2023. As the international community watches closely, the presence of Chinese naval forces near Australian waters raises questions about the broader implications for regional security and the nuances of international maritime law. Both Australian and New Zealand defense officials have underscored their commitment to continue surveillance and maintain readiness to respond to any developments. Thank you for choosing Satori News.